This is Buck Tickets, and I would normally say we're delighted to be joined, obviously, with people. I guess in some ways I probably am because Kevin, obviously, I want to thank you for your time. We're 5 days after pretty much, obviously, you fight with them at Brennan in the three arena. I guess probably the first place to start is obviously how are you feeling?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me, Steve. I'm good. I'm good. Look, it's tough week, a bitter week, but I'm good. Look, I have my health, and that's. I remember saying that after the Jamie fights, that's all that matters. Once you come out with your health, there's a lot worse things going on in the world than bad decisions in a fight. Like there's people being told they're sick every day of the week. So how can I be down on myself for too long? I'm good. I'm good. Look, we've got a good group of people around me, John, family, friends, team. So I'm good. Look, I'll go again.
I guess in some ways, hopefully it doesn't stick bad here, but it's something you've got used to, unfortunately. Over the last 18 months or so, obviously, you defeat the GMA in Belfast, the draw in Galway, and obviously the Emmet fight. Probably it shows probably in some ways the character that you have in yourself because you could throw the toys out of the pram and go off and rants and stuff like that online, whereas you're actually showing probably out of anything that you're mature. These things have happened. It's out of your control, the decisions, but you're taking it on the chin. You're taking it like a man, and you're ready to sort of go again.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's no point in sitting in attack and the other fighters or anything like that. They were in there. They fought their hearts out. With you gain a lot of respect for fighters. When you're in the ring with them, like I wouldn't have known Emmet personally before the last day, but when you come out of a fight like that with someone, you feel like you get to know each other very well in there. And like that, I was speaking with Emmet after. Emmet's a good fella. The Jamie fights as well, like that, and good. I get along great with Jamie now as well. So yeah, look, I no point putting personal attacks on anyone. Even I had to word my social media posts, fairly right as well the next day because I don't like to put it out there that I'm bitter or anything over anything. So like that, I don't put the word robbery or anything like that up on social media. I just put it out there, John. Thank them for everything. Let everyone else have their verdict. That's the way I kind of do it now because it seems to be I don't know. I don't know what issues is with me with commissions or anything like that, but there's something going on. I feel like I've been nothing but nice to everyone, but there's something going on and I don't know what it is. And until I do know what it is, I won't be fighting for certain titles anymore.
It's obviously, and I know it even at this stage is probably thinking back on and things like that. Like you obviously give me your time just before the day before the fight, after you'd obviously weighed in and obviously you'd have some eating things like that, but you'd sort of said what you were going out and you were going to prove like that you belong sort of that level. Like Emmett was an Olympian and things like that. Like in some ways, and I know Mick sort of said afterwards, like you've no disgrace. I know obviously it hasn't went your way, but you obviously you put it on an Olympian. You've obviously you probably gain more fans and stuff out of things now as well. So in some ways you can sort of maybe look back and go, I didn't get the nod on the night, obviously due to obviously judges and stuff like that. But you can hold your head high to show that now that you belong at that level where people, Emmett obviously in the build up previously and stuff before the fight was ever made, didn't think you were going to take the fight. you know, you're coming out of this probably a lot more positive with a lot of people, probably gain more fans than anything else.
Yeah, yeah, like it's probably the first fight I've ever had where I'll actually come out of it and say, just sit back and say, it sounds cringe me saying it, but to say that I'm proud of myself, I've I was written off coming into it. Realistically, me and my team thought, right, yeah, we can do this. I knew my heart and soul what I could do, but no one else thought it. So as I said all camp, I was happy to take the back seat, let everyone write me off, and I said, I'm gonna prove you all wrong on fight night, and I did it, and like you say, a whole new fan base. It's not like just a whole new fan base. Like after every fight, when you gain a few fans, it's crazy. I've just the messages, everything. I just had to delete a bunch of messages off my Instagram and Facebook because I just can't get through them. It's crazy. Obviously, the fight was on worldwide and everyone was watching it, um, but even after the fight, when I turned on my phone and the phone just started going bing, 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 and I just turned it straight back off. I put up an Instagram story of just took a selfie and wrote something on it, living in or something. But I just turned it off. I said, no, not tonight. And I just presumed it was the usual big amount of messages you get after a fight. Didn't realize it was so big until the next day, the next night, really, when I started getting through a few messages, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they just kept popping up on my social media, but it wasn't just my social media; it was my family's, my Marie's social media. I was like, I think this isn't just like the normal afters of a fight with a few people thinking you're winning. It was viral, like and obviously Dana White helped that, but like it still hasn't slowed down. I thought it'd die down after a day or two, and it'd be another one of them decisions people don't like to see, but you're forgotten about in a day or two because something else happens. But no, it's still going on, and like that, getting you could say getting our heroes welcome down home again. Like it's nuts, but it's not again. It's not normal compared to usual. Joy, you'd always have a big bunch of people who'd know the face and know the name and congratulate you, but it's everyone. It's everywhere. It's everyone. It's berserk. And once I do get over this and get back into training now in a week, next week or the week after, we'll see how things go. Like I think I'm going to be in shock again once I get a new fight date and it comes to people coming out to see me because I think everyone's going to want to see me now. I've told people I have a fan friendly style. I'm after giving in the last 18 months, I've given three of definitely the top five all Irish fights there's ever been. If you ask me, I think the me versus Emmet Brennan fight, the last day takes the biscuit. Like, I don't ever remember an Irish title fight like that. We sat in the pocket and we just put it on each other for the 8 rounds. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You give me your verdict, but I think I don't know of an Irish fight that's ever lived up to that. Like, even I think the two Jamie fights were up there, but probably didn't take the best ever. I think that took the best ever All Irish fight. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't know. I think maybe your second fight with Jamie probably because there's a lot more action sort of in it. It's I don't know. It's I guess sometimes you've put me in the sort of spot. I'm thinking, your fight with Jamie and Galway. Like I thought the action and stuff like that it was in it. Like it was like a sort of fight nearly of two sort of halves sort of thing. And you come on like a train
Yeah,
at the end, and I'm sort of I probably have to tally it up and sort of go in what sort of moments, I guess, the bigger atmosphere, the bigger occasion, everything else like that, it lived up to the hype. But obviously the Emmet fight, like
yeah,
we knew that your fight with Jamie were going to be there and they were going to be the sort of same sort of thing. But like when you look at the fight, like obviously your walkout and things like that, it's like did you expect the fight was going to go to the way that it went? Like it sort of seemed to be when Emmett got you at sort of mid range, he could sort of control things, but whenever you get in tight, he just didn't have an answer for it.
yeah. Like we knew we're going to come through patch. We knew we were going to have tough moments in the fight. We knew we were going to have to dig it out in patches, which we did obviously have to dig it out in patches because there was points where he was landing clean shots and you just have to readjust and go again. Um, I knew my engine was going to be the way. Actually, no, I knew I had a good engine. We tweaked a few things in camp this time just to even work more on the engine. And I swear to God, at the end of the 8th round, I still wasn't even breathing heavy. Like it just felt so easy, and it felt too easy if you ask me. I thought after the first round, I thought the first round was close. In my head, I gave it to Emmett, but after the first round, I said, you know what, that was close round. I was kind of in my head thinking, I knew my biggest challenge in this fight was going to be the earlier rounds. And I knew if I have this round that close, I can take every one of these rounds. And that's why I came out the way I did in the second. And we just, like, our plan was to get to Emmet. We didn't think it'd be till the second half of the fight when we start getting to him. But go back and listen to the corners in after the first round, and it's my coach is saying, right, we're not waiting, we're getting in there now. You can get there now, and that's why I got straight in there in the second round and started putting on him. And yeah, I thought I was in cruise control for a lot of it. Like, we knew we had a good chin. Like, I don't know. I suppose I've seen some comments about how people thought I was going to get stopped and get knocked out, but we know how good my chin is. We know how good I can take shots. Joe, I can take some body shots. I can take whatever shots I keep coming. I'm just as stubborn as a mule that way. But yeah, I don't know. After the first round, in my head, I might give him the sixth, but I just thought I was on him all night. Like, he obviously had little patches and rounds where maybe the ref would break us and I'd be back in mid range, he'd throw a few shots, but every time I was straight back in on him, working the inside, giving him some angles, Joe. And even when we did get tied up, I was turning my side to make a bit of room and just keep peppering him them body shots, so I was constantly scoring. I know it was put out there that it's actually the shots that were landed that won the fight and all that, but people need to look at this. And I do not look at stats in fights, but them stats aren't punches thrown. Read into the stats. They're not punches thrown. They're punches landed. That's punches landed, not thrown. So that just throws that accusation right out the fucking window, like, you know. So but look, again, it is what it is. I don't want to be getting too much into it because it's obviously it's still emotional for me. So the minute I start talking about it, I'm going to rant on about it, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to be known for that. I just want to move on from it. I'm obviously going to have my fight with the commission over this. Like, you know, I'm not going to lie down and just take that. Like, we're going to have our complaint. We're going to put out there what it is, because there was some wild scorecards in there, and there was I don't even know what to say about them. The whole arena booed them scorecards. You know, the people were in shock. You know, some of the biggest names in the world sitting ringside, like, were shaking their heads at them scorecards. That's not embarrassing for me. That's not embarrassing for Emmet. That's not embarrassing for either of the fighters that went in there and put on the performance of their lives. That's embarrassing for the people that were sitting on their stools with a sheet of paper in front of them. That's who that's embarrassing for. And I don't know. Maybe I'll get backlash from the commission over this, but hang their heads in shame. That was disgusting.
Just obviously where you mentioned the stats, I'm obviously going to put them up obviously on the interview here, so obviously it'll pop up on the screen. But obviously where you're saying stats, you know, punches landed, Kevin Cronin 163, Emmet Brennan 137, headshots from
Yeah,
yourself
but
68.
go back. Sorry, Steve. Go back there, and that's one that's been mentioned. Is people are like, oh yeah, but this punches thrown, not landed. Punches landed. Punches landed are the shots that land, not just thrown. You know, that's not missed shots. That's something that really needs to be put out there, because that's like the excuse that's being used. Again, this is why I didn't want to get too much into it. I said I get emotional looking at these things, and it annoys me somewhat because there's only a bare few people out there who are given the fight the other way than me, and that seems to be the excuse that's being used. That punches landed is not punches thrown.
Obviously, Dana's obviously comments obviously afterwards, you know, it obviously, you know, and I know that obviously he had spoke to you and your team obviously straight afterwards, and obviously Conlan boxing then put something out. So obviously we'd seen in the for the media for the press conference with Dana afterwards. Like, obviously Dana's comments, you know, on the fight, that obviously he believed that you won. He believed that you won wide. You know, there's no calls for any rematch and anything like that. He's obviously, you know, these is Dana's comments where he's saying that obviously if they come back to Ireland again, they're going to look at bringing international judges. You know, that they just believe that it wasn't just your fight on the night. Probably, you know, the Bombay Alimedov fight. You know, thought that obviously there was things wrong there. Even the Craig O'Brien and Edward Donovan fight. You know, it wasn't just in your fight in general. It was fights, and I guess people's going to say at times that it's, you know, scoring subjective. And obviously, judges, kind of different conflicts and things. I'm going to say it, Kevin, because um, that fight wasn't a 6-2 in favour of Emmet Brennan. And I've said this to him at the press conference afterwards. Judge Byrne gave the scorecards of 78, 74 to Emmet Brennan. We're in an age where these fights, and it's not only yourself, Sean McComb, obviously, in America, has fight. He won wide in points, and it was still given the other way. These judges need to be held accountable and need to explain the reasons behind it, because it's affected. It's Sean McComb it's affected. It's these fighters are affected, and it just seems to be that these judges are happy to score their fights, collect their paychecks, and go ahead and do the next one, and it's wrong. I'm happy to go out there and say that. These judges need to explain how they come up to it. Yes, they might see things different to the other people, but they need to be held accountable. They need to explain why they've scored it in a certain way.
Yeah, that's 6 rounds to 2. Giving me 2 rounds of the 8th is berserk altogether. Now I seen that Sean McComb fight where he completely outclassed. Can't even think of your man's name, the Golden Boy fella, but completely outclassed him. And then not to get the nod in it. And I just can't make sense of it. I cannot make sense of it, because when they called it 6-2 and the last scorecard, anyone can watch this back. I'm not sure, will you play it now as I'm saying it, but anyone can watch this back. Look up the result, just call them the results of the fight. First was given to me, I'm a hand in the air or whatever. The second one was given to Emmet. And even, I know we're going on about that last scorecard, but that second scorecard was a bit wild too. I think that gives me 2 rounds in the draw round. But and the third card, when it gave 6-2, that you can see my face changes, and I say, we have it. I have it, because that's how I had it scored in my head. But for it to be flipped the other way, that was berserk. And I know that you're saying they need to come out and explain themselves. They won't come out and explain themselves. If they believed they were right, they'd come out and explain themselves. If they believed they were right, they'd have already come out and tried shutting everyone down for it going viral. And I know, look, I'm probably going to get an email over just saying these things, but fuck it, these people sit behind a desk. These people show up to a boxing event. These people ain't driving 3.5 hours each way up to Dublin 3 and 4 days a week. These people haven't given the last so many years of their life to this sport, missing time with your family, missing weddings, missing holidays. It's not just me. My girlfriend's in this too. I don't know when the last time we've been able to go for a night out for food, other than after this fight, but a night out for food. We were meant to go on holidays. I had to cancel the holiday. She had to go with her parents because I couldn't go because of this training camp. My life, I've had no life. I've put my whole life on hold to get a moment, to get one shot. I got my shot in the Tree Arena last Friday night, and a bunch of no-brainers took it from me. That's the easiest way of saying it. And again, like that, I've always given you a post-fight interview, and sorry I didn't get you the last day. We went backstage, the doctor called me in, and I ended up needing stitches. I didn't know I needed stitches after it. I would have liked to have been able to give it at the time. Probably best I didn't, because I would have given it a lot harder to some of them people than I am right now. And like I said, it's just probably going to be emails that'll fly under the radar or whatever now, but you know what? It's my career, it's my life that's been put on hold, not any of theirs.
At the end of the day, judges and everything else have their opinions, and we'll sort of leave it sort of at this point, because I don't want it to be one of these interviews where it's negative, and I
Yeah,
don't want the BUA coming back to you for you having your opinion that you're entitled to have as a fighter. At the end of the day, the world's about free speech. If you can't explain and feel how you are, obviously afterwards, then the world's completely wrong. But I've even went off track of what I was going to say there now, because I don't want you getting in trouble. At the end of the day, that's you. But I'm well gone now. I think I think I'm past. But yeah, I was going
yeah.
to
No,
say,
you're good.
I
You're
was going to
good,
say
but
today
I'm going to go off it, and I'm going to say outside of that, the fight. I think the performance that I put in shocked everyone. No one gave me a chance, but It's not just me who deserves credit for that, right? You've got Jonathan Lewins, you've got Nicky Dullard, you've got Parky Lewins, and I mean the boys are top class. The boys, they don't post on social media. They don't boast about being good coaches. They don't get rewards because no one knows who they are because they don't put anything on social media. People probably don't even know they're my coaches, you know. So like
Apart
them
from me,
guys, we came up with a game plan. Yeah, they like the work they've put in. I'm living in Jonathan Lewin's house when I go up, like, with his family. It's the second home for me. Like the work them people have put in, and you ask me, I think he's one of the top coaches, if not the top coach in this country, but doesn't get the credit he does because we get decisions like the last day, and obviously stops, the name from going out there that bit. And the other thing is, even get the win, probably wouldn't have put up a social media post, would have just went on to the next fighter who's out, which is Dave. Like, and just keep working on him. It doesn't matter whether you're a world class athlete in his gym or whether you're someone that's a raw novice starting out. He's going to be putting that work into you no matter what. And that's why people respect Jonathan Lewins, anyone who knows him. And again, like that, Nicky Dullard and Parky Lewins, like, that's me. They're three of the top coaches in the country, and they're going to, like, their names will be out there because I'm going to keep going. I've proven people wrong the last day. I'm going to get a big shot again against a big name where everyone's going to write me off, and I'm going to cause a huge upset. And you're going to see these boys getting huge rewards for that, and well overdue rewards. So I have to put that out there about the lads because, like that, it wasn't just me in that camp. The boys have put the work in too.
I guess obviously, at the moment you're still hurting and everything else like that. Is what's the plan sort of for you now? It's like I know we're at the end of September. You know, is a plan to sort of get straight back into the fire. Obviously, I know your eyes and stuff like that. Obviously, you're probably gonna have to let that go down. Like, is this you finished for 2024? What's the sort of, I guess if somebody said you'd want to fight tomorrow, you would fight tomorrow, but you need to let yourself heal and sort of let the emotions calm down and sort of get back into sort of the gym and see how you're feeling. But when would you like to get back out again?
Um, I don't think, obviously, I don't know, but I don't think this is the end of me for 2024. I've great momentum going. I had good momentum coming into that fight. I I'm still clear to fight whenever. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I was talking to Jamie Conlan the morning after the fight. Um, he said he'd be happy if I didn't fight for the rest of the year. Like, just even going off of that fight alone, I took the chances that I deserved a break. I want to enjoy my Christmas, so I personally I'd like to get out in December. There was a December date thrown at me, but we did say we'd come back around to it in a week or two and we'd talk about it because obviously things were raw at the time. Um, so I think I'll be out in December. I I'd be fairly 99% sure I'd be out in December. I don't want to wait around. I want to keep going. I want to keep in truck and get back to winning ways. Obviously, I have a whole new fan base out there as well on top of what I had. And actually, yeah, I'm about to go off track again. The Kerry people, what a bunch! Like, I walked out to that ring the last day, and it was in my head was blank out the booze, just blank out the booze. A few boos started, but then the arena erupted, and I said, "No way is there this many Kerry people there." But there was, and it was absolutely nuts. I was gobsmacked just to hear the cheer for me coming out to the ring, and just knowing that many people came up. Like, I did say maybe might be two or three hundred people. There was a lot more than, yeah, there was a lot more than two or three hundred Kerry people there. And because even when I walked back in to watch the Callum Walsh fight after that, and I was just seeing faces that you see in the streets, people that I don't even know, Joe, and it's crazy. And like, what a bunch, and Joe, what a county, Joe, to come out and support me. And even there's a lot of people that weren't from Kerry there, they were there to support me. And thanks to every one of them, Joe. I'm only getting going. All I've done so far is prove to people that I belong where I am, and now it's time to push on to that bigger stage and start taking on bigger names. And yeah, but back to what we were saying, yeah, I think I'll be back out in December. I want to be back out in December because, as I said, I want to enjoy Christmas, and I'd feel like I'd enjoy Christmas a lot better if I could have a fight just before Christmas. Um, another thing was Jamie was saying, "Oh, look, we'll get out, we'll get a win," and I was kind of, well, obviously, I want to get the win, but I was like, I don't really want to go back to this tournament route. Like, I perform better against better opposition. Like, Emmet on paper was meant to destroy me, and I knew that, and that's how I stepped up to the plate, and that's how I done what I did. You put me in against the journeyman that I'm meant to get out of there in 2 rounds, I won't look great doing him. So that's why I need that good opposition in front of me. But like that's talks for me and my team maybe next week or the week after. But I think I'll be out in December. Definitely back down to super middleweight. I think I'm a destroyer down there.
Is a rematch obviously one that, I guess fighters fight, regardless. Is a rematch something that would, I know Emmett sort of said something less money, sort of right and everything else to God. Is a rematch sort of something you want? Obviously, ideally this fight was supposed to be over 10 rounds as well for the Irish title, and obviously TV sort of cut it back. But you probably think to yourself now, if that had been another 2 rounds, not fight for an Irish title, the way that you were finishing off in the fight, there was only going to be one winner. But I guess the scorecards, sorry to go back
Yeah,
to it,
look at
the
this.
scorecards.
I needed more than 2 rounds if you look at the scorecards. Like that's how bad it was. If it was a 12 rounder, I might have got a draw. Like, I'm not going back to it, but rematch. I'd fight anyone, but the other thing is judges. Like, okay, wait, who's judging it? So there's a lot. Like, obviously, Emmett's right. Financially, there's people getting paid millions to fight that are in boring fights. And everyone knows what I bring to the table now. That's 3 from 3. I've delivered in every one of them. I've said going into every one of them. Anytime I mention the words Gatty Ward, people just need to buy tickets, because when I say them words, it's happening. Like, and it does. So I think I definitely deserve a paycheck. Look, obviously I'm not thinking that I'm fighting for money or anything like that. Personally, I'm a throwback fighter. I fight for my people and all that, but I think I'm at a stage now where, geez, I deserve at least one paycheck. Let me break even after a fucking camp like this. This this um this sport has probably financially crippled me, I suppose, is the easiest thing in saying about it at this stage. But definitely need a paycheck, catch up to actually fund my camps again. But yeah, rematch. I look. Let's see what my team bring to me. Let's see what my team bring to me. Um, People have told me I wouldn't have taken that fight in the first place the last day, and I accepted it on the first offer. So like I'm open to whatever, but the circumstances outside of the ring need to be need to be sorted before the fight can be sorted inside the ring.
Definitely. Well, look, obviously, I'm going to thank you for your time. Obviously, I know it's still very early on. Obviously, you always give me you know, always give me your time. Obviously, whether it's in victory or obviously, unfortunately, whether it's been in defeat. Like I can think like an hour or so after the fight in Galway, you were happy to do an interview. Like you're not one of these fighters that you'll only interview when it's on winning terms. You've always given me your time, whether it's one draw or defeat. So. Want to thank you for your time, obviously, particularly with it being so raw, and still so fresh to you. Obviously, let them eyes heal up. Um, Obviously, start doing a bit of housework with Maria about the house. And I'm sure, no doubt, you'll get your fight news in time, and you can hopefully end 2024 with victory the way you started the year with victory.
My eyes were actually fine after the fight. These eyes, they're only blackened because of the housework. I said no. It was the last time I'll say no.
But look, Kevin, thanks as always for your time, and no doubt we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks for having me, Steve. Appreciate it as always.
Cheers, Kevin. Take care.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.